What oddly specific rules have you seen that are probably only there because someone actually did it in the past? In rehab, our cotton swabs were taken away because a guy decided to jam one into his eardrum to get sent to the hospital and get painkillers. Every seemingly dumb rule we had in there had a backstory to it. Since the pandemic and things going digital, we now have a you must wear clothes rule, and we already had a pretty casual dress code. No bouncing balls on city sidewalks. It scares horses. There are still laws around my parts that every business has a safe place to tie up your horse. I could legit go to any shop riding a horse and sue them cause they don't have a hitching post. I had the same biology professor for BOI in second. Because of me, the BO second PowerPoint included a new excuse that wouldn't be accepted for missing/late work. My drunk roommates threw it out while cleaning. Last year's company Christmas party email specifically stated to bring an extra pair of pants if you will be urinating in the first pair. Absolutely no roller skates in the lab. My husband worked for a private lab startup and half the women there did roller derby. The lab was, as many are, a repurposed warehouse with nice smooth concrete floors. One of the women thought it would be fun to skate between machines. She got a lot done, but the boss figured OSHA wouldn't be too thrilled, so the sign went up a few days later. You could still wear your skates in the break room. On an Air France flight from Morocco to Mauritania, the flight attendant gave the safety brief in French at first. My French is not good, but my ears pricked up when I heard the words "feu de camp." I obviously discounted my translation as misunderstanding the brief until she went into the brief in English. We were given the standard safety brief on all aircraft, but at the end we were specifically reminded that there are to be no cooking or campfires lit on the plane at any time. Can you imagine your seatmate getting hungry and deciding to start a fire on an airplane to cook up some snacks? Pharmacy worker here. We have to specify to unwrap suppositories before insertion. Apparently someone thought the foil was part of it. Do not put 14 rolls of toilet paper in the toilet Walmart 2019. 13 then. In a supermarket. By the cherry display, for the safety of employees and customers. Please do not discard cherry pits on the floor. Couldn't figure out why it didn't just say please don't eat the cherries, but I'm sure there's an injury lawsuit involved. Please do not add dish detergent to the water fountains. Once witnessed someone dumping a whole box of soap, not sure if it was laundry, dish or other, into a mall fountain. The bubbles were 6 feet high before they shut it off. Do not smoke when applying hairspray. This was probably a result of ate his hair. My father's hometown, Marion, Ohio, had a rule that you couldn't eat a donut while walking backwards. If I remember correctly, it had something to do with attracting police horses to lure them away from the police. Remove baby before collapsing stroller. Edit. For those asking what happens if you do this. I contacted some manufacturers who assured me that they tested it and that the strollers will be perfectly fine. We once got a piece of clothing for one of the kids and right on the label, I kid you not, remove child before washing. Normally I think of it as removing the clothes, not the child. Do not dress game, e.g. deer, pheasant, in dormitory kitchens. I wonder who dragged a deer into the dorm and cut it up for venison. In Florida you may not have sexual relations with a porcupine. You would think that is an issue that would regulate itself. Anywhere but Florida, it would be. Never iron clothes while they are being worn, or the more F up do not use for drying pets on the microwave. I blame Johnny Knoxville for this, but toilets are for display purposes only. When I worked at a warehouse, I was told that we can't ride pallet jacks like scooters. No rings on ship decks. They can get caught and egg glove your finger, which is exactly as horrid as it sounds. Edit. Of course this comment blows up. Ha. Oh yeah. None in a metal shop either. Same reason. The Tenbin Bowling Alley in Geelong implemented a patrons must not play blindfolded rule. The manager claims it was for safety reasons. But I will always know in my heart it was solely because I beat him 3 games in a row wearing a blindfold. Geelong is an awesome city on the bottom of the Australian mainland. Lived there 18 years. Sadly, the bowling alley was demolished around 2001. For my fellow scientists, transferring chemicals by mouth pipetting is forbidden. Edit. Wow, this unexpectedly blew up. It's nice to see our science community active in a sub that isn't science related. Stay safe my fellow lab mates, and make sure to always label your glassware. Don't take prescription drug if you're allergic to same drug. At my company's picnic outing, anyone who jumps in the lake will be fired. Apostrophe. Used to work in a big name bookstore. In the office we had a huge sign saying no boiled eggs allowed in staff office. I worked for a company that would send us out of town and put us up in hotels for weeks. We had per diem for food, but they told us we could absolutely not use it on alcohol. Found out the company used to have an open bar at the hotel for employees, until some former employees got so drunk they hired prostitutes, and ended up doing C, and were killed out of the hotel and arrested. This goes beyond adding insult to injury. At my last job, we had a sign on the back door that said you must walk trash all the way to the dumpster. Do not train the raccoons. The story behind that is the facility I worked at does dog daycare and training. And RC the human, not to be confused with Darcy the poodle, didn't like having to walk all the way across the parking lot at the end of the night to take out the trash, and trained about 3 raccoons to drag the bags to the dumpster because he couldn't be bothered to walk 50 feet to it. He got away with it for about a year and even named them. The manager only found out when she opened the back door to throw out some boxes and saw a bunch of raccoons immediately run up and cart them off. I wouldn't even be angry, just impressed. You're not allowed to bring vuvuzelas into a Metallica concert. I really just want to know the story. You are not allowed to bring vuvuzela into any large gatherings. The thing is annoying. Wish I had a picture, but in every restroom stall at my work there is a sign that says 3 courtesy flush once to prepare for elimination flush between the go and the paper flush upon completion. Wonder who put that together in their head and said I have a solution. Hear me out guys. Shipping procedures. Send the package immediately with paperwork to follow. In California it is illegal to hunt deer with explosive arrowheads. Are you really living in America if you can't even hunt with explosive arrowheads? Do not fill with urine on a water gun. Then why buy the water gun? There was this one residence hall on campus where we had to inform students on move-in day not to twist their apartment room key a certain way into their bathroom door, otherwise they could possibly get locked in if closed. They were encouraged just to use the inner lock bolt body system. Students got charged $5 after 1 free pass if a staff member got a call and had to rescue them from trapping themselves in their own bathroom. Working in that hall for 2 years, I rescued students 7 times and 4 of those times it was the same girl. Edit. I agree it is a fire hazard and that the university is at fault and should have fixed the system. Did nobody think to find the idiot administrator that allowed poorly designed locks to be installed? My all-time favorite. In the Taco Bell I frequented as a teenager, please do not spit on the managers. It wasn't even a ref paper, it was a plaque. Someone got spit on enough times to go out and pay for a plaque. If the water between Denmark and Sweden freezes, and the Swedes walk over, we, the Danes, are allowed to hit them with sticks. I now want to live in Denmark. A fairly small apartment complex pool, indoors, that had a sign reading, no running, no diving, no smoking, no kayaks. I worked at a video rental store, and we had a big sign at the front of the store that said, "Control your children, because kids are an organizational nightmare." Back in the 90s, I used to work in a convenience store in New Jersey. Once a year I'd have to go to the health department and get certified as a food handler. It is in this capacity that I learned that there is a law on the books in the state of New Jersey that you cannot store food under a leaking sewage pipe. You just know health inspector went into a store and said, what the hell? You can't store food under leaking sewer pipe. And the store owner said, cite the statute. In church, there was a sign above the votive candles that read, light only one candle, $7 each. Apparently, for $7, someone had lighted all 50 votive candles in the stand. Curling iron instructions. Do not use while sleeping. Also curling irons. For external use only. No eating at your desk. I still do. F the office manager. Prepare for your second sign. No F the office manager. I still do. F the signs. Prepare for a third sign. No F the signs. Well, ST. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe.